Is it time for the Jaren Hall show? Let's talk about it. So Jaren Hall, obviously he started the game versus Atlanta after Kirk Cousins went down with that Achilles injury. Jaren started playing pretty well, to be honest with you. Started the game pretty hot, very accurate, was running the offense really well. And then obviously he gets concussed and the Josh Dobbs era begins, and he had an amazing game to finish out versus Atlanta. He had a couple turnovers, but then brought the team back. You saw some of that Dobbs magic in that game, and then he played pretty well against the Saints, especially in the first half. But the games versus Denver and Chicago kind of been a train wreck, and you can see why Josh Dobbs has been on multiple teams in the last year or so. Um, he's a good backup quarterback. Like if you need a spot starter for a game or two, Josh Dobbs is your guy. He's your guy. He can create some magic. He can get you a victory when you need it. But to rely on him for a full 17 game season or even, a handful of games, 4 or 5, 6 games, it just doesn't end up looking very good. And, this video is going to be mostly centered around Jaren Hall. I'm a big fan of Jaren Hall. Even through the pre-draft process, I was a big fan of Jaren Hall coming out of BYU. I loved his accuracy. I loved his leadership. He has really good touch on his deep passes. He's a guy I think can be successful in the right NFL system. And I think Kevin O'Connell's system fits Jaren Hall better than Josh Dobbs. And you could kind of see it last night. Kevin O'Connell was kind of running, that scheme that is kind of built for like a pocket passer, a Kirk Cousins type, um, you know, maybe a Nick Mullins type. That's why he's the backup here in Minnesota. But I think Jaren Hall can run it as well. Obviously, for Jaren, he's a little shorter. You kind of want to get him out a little bit more so he can, dissect the field a little bit better outside of the pocket. But he's very accurate. He's a very accurate passer. He's got a good, not great arm, but he can hit the intermediate throws. He can hit the throws down the field. And he's really good in the short game as well. So I just think he fits this Kevin O'Connell system a lot better. And I don't know if they're going to go back to him. If they do step away from Dobbs, he had 4 interceptions last night. They might go to Nick Mullins just because he's the veteran. He's been in this offense a couple of years. But why go to Nick Mullins? Jaren Hall's sitting here. You want to see what you have in this guy. Nick Mullins has been here for a couple of years now. He's been in the league for several years. You kind of know where he is as a player. You're still kind of searching. You're looking for what potential you have in Jaren Hall. And this last 5-game stretch is perfect. And if he can get you into the playoffs, that's just icing on the cake. Like if a 5th-round rookie can come win, 3 out of the 5 games, and you sneak in as a 7 seed in the playoffs, that's a success. You want to see what you have in Jaren Hall, and I think that's the route to go, especially if you move away from Josh Dobbs. Don't do the boring, expected thing and just throwing Nick Mullins out there. He's limited as a quarterback. He limits this offense, but I think Jaren Hall, he's mobile, and we saw that it can lead to injuries, but he's mobile. He can extend plays. He brings an excitement factor to this offense and to the organization. And I think that's what us fans want to see. Is it what Kevin O'Connell wants to see? I don't know. I think he is a pretty big fan of Jaren Hall. And I don't know if I expect a quarterback change, but I would not be surprised, especially coming off the bye. Just give this team a spark. The offense scored 20 versus Denver, 12 versus Chicago against good defense, but nothing great. Averaging 16 points a game. That's, nothing to hang your hat on. But I think Jaren Hall did earn this. He needs another opportunity. He was playing well versus Atlanta. If it wasn't an injury, I think he'd still be starting. To be honest with you, but it's time for Jaren Hall to lead this team again, in my opinion, just to see what he has. He's a rookie, 5th rounder. You don't expect too much, but can he be a guy that can run this offense and be successful? I think so. What do you guys think? Dobbs, Hall, or Mullins? Which direction should the Vikings go coming off their bye week, headed into Las Vegas? Vikings 6-6, still that 7 seed in the playoffs. It's going to be interesting to find out.